And a big congratulations is in order. You are officially the captain for Europe for the 2026 PING Junior Solheim Cup. How proud a moment is this for you?
Yeah, it might be one of the proudest moments of my life for sure. It's such a cool and honorable thing to, first of all, being asked if I would be up for it. It was probably one of the easiest yes I could come up with. And, I feel like I'm still quite close to these girls that are going to be playing. So, yeah, I just hope I can make it a very fun week for them and just have a unbelievable experience as a whole.
Yeah, 29 years old, you are arguably still at the peak of your powers. So I've got to ask, how did this decision come about?
Yeah, I think I've always stayed pretty close. I played the Junior Solheim Cup myself in 2013, and I stayed close with the people that were organizing and helping us out in that time. And once it came about, I think me and Evelot at some point we joked about it, and I said, how about 26 in the Netherlands? And it started off maybe a little bit as a joke, and as time went on, we were actually, all very getting a lot more serious about it. And yeah, once it got finally confirmed, it was like, wow, we're actually gonna do this. So yeah, absolutely surreal.
A real full circle moment. You
Mm.
played 2013, you played for the senior team in 2019. First off, 2013, what memories do you have of that event?
So many. It still feels like kind of like yesterday. It was I remember it was such a big goal of mine at the beginning of the year. I think having big goals and working for something that gets you out of bed every morning to practice and play and do your best, it's so important. And for me, that was the one event that was highlighted on my schedule. I remember I was like, okay, these are the qualifying events. I'm going to play them all, and I'm going to be on that team. And that was my mindset going into that 2013 year. And then I remember playing really well, making the team, and we played in Colorado, so away game. Traveling there, playing, I guess, with alongside your teammates that normally you always play against. I think that was definitely a different experience than before, right? You're just used to playing, representing your country and playing for your country, and you play against Spain and against Denmark and against Germany, where now everyone comes together and you actually become friends that week. So I have so many fond memories, and actually made a lot of friends that week, from the European side and also from the American side that week, that as of today I'm still very, very close friends with.
And you've gone on to have quite the career on the LET, but how did that experience in particular help you?
It's just a massive confidence booster. I think every time you set a goal and you challenge yourself and throw yourself in the deep end to wanting to achieve something, and you work hard and actually achieve the goal that you set out to do. I believe in, life is about a journey, and having success and things that stand out in your career. If you cannot enjoy the journey, I don't think it's worth it. And I've been, I think, on both sides, where now I'm just very much on the path of enjoying every step of it. And I think that's my main thing, that I want to bring to these girls. It's a goal, but whether you reach it or not, it's all about that year and what it's going to bring out in you. Then I made it that year, yes or no. So I think that's going to be very cool to hopefully guide them in that. And that's something I've done in my career all the time, is set big goals, work hard, and keep challenging yourself.
And what does the Solheim Cup mean to you? We saw you 6 years on from your junior Solheim Cup experience playing for the senior team. You're on the first tee, you're showing a lot of passion. I know you formed a strong friendship with Suzanne that week, who's gone on to captain the main team. So what is it about the Solheim Cup that you just love?
It's just not about you. I think that's what I love. Every week you tee it up for yourself, and it's your name on the leaderboard, where coming alongside playing with your friends, because these girls, they turn into your friends in those kind of weeks, and you create memories and bonds that go way beyond golf. Those are friendships you make for life. And I think playing for something bigger than yourself, anytime you can represent your country, or in this way Europe, there's nothing bigger and more proud you can achieve. So yeah, for me it's all about being in that team environment, and contributing for not just yourself but for the whole team. And seeing so many fans root for one side, I think that's something you never really experience. I actually like the fact that you can have the crowd against you or with you. I think that makes the Solheim Cup so unique, and it's just an environment I love to play in. I love when people are loud, when there's music, when you can hit balls with the crowd going crazy. I can definitely hopefully can see more of that in the future in the game. as a whole. But yeah, just the whole environment and atmosphere is something, I can hardly explain. The nerves you get on that first tee is something I never experienced before. You cannot feel any part of your body, and somehow you have to, try to drive a fairway, not hit a person next that's standing in the rope. So yeah, I think those moments is where you practice for your whole life as a kid, to then do it and play alongside all these amazing other players, especially Suzanne. She was, or she still is, obviously my hero as I was growing up. And I remember seeing her play in the 2013 Solheim Cup when I was on the junior, and I was just too afraid to even go up and ask her for a picture. And to then, having to play alongside her, I think I was more nervous playing with her than against the Americans. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, she's also just a human being that just absolutely loves golf. So yeah, to be playing again like amongst her, and in my first match winning the match, I think it's one of the coolest moments of my career for sure.
And the other big news this week is that Bernardus Golf Club will be hosting both the PING Junior Solheim Cup and the Solheim Cup on the same course. It's the first time in the history of the competition that's happened. I mean, how important is that for the event?
Yeah, I think it's what the event is all about, right? I think that's how the Ping family started this event. They wanted to obviously create a highlight for women's golf, to really showcase women's golf, and they saw the importance of also creating this platform for the juniors, and for them to be playing on the same course in the same venue, in tournament condition prepped Solheim Cup course with fans, with the grandstands there. Their first tee is hopefully going to be as packed as for the real Solheim Cup, and I think that will make their memory even fonder. And yeah, I'm just so happy that everyone involved saw the importance of having them play at the same event, and yeah, I couldn't be more proud that we accomplished that, and I hope for every event in the future that they will do it the same way.
Yeah, you were telling me off camera that you were the one really campaigning for that. Is that right?
For sure. I mean, I think everyone from the European side, we were pushing for it hard, and I think once everyone saw the importance of it, everyone started to get very excited about it, and I think it's going to be great for the players from the real Solheim Cup or the big Solheim Cup to come and watch and show their support. I think that's what that event is all about as well. I'm good friends with Anna Nordqvist, so for them to be closer together in that whole week. Same for me. I made friendship and memories as a junior being alongside the players of the Solheim Cup. So for them to be close, to their idols for a whole week, and hopefully have them come out on the first tee or watch them finish their match, I think it would be an unbelievable experience for them.
And a big moment for Dutch golf as well, hosting both competitions. I mean, what do you think this will do for golf in the Netherlands moving forward?
I think it's, for the Netherlands, just a historical moment. We haven't had that many big events apart from, our Dutch Open for the men and women. So I just hope it will inspire so many young girls and boys, of course, but just mainly a lot of kids, right? We haven't had the best couple years, as a country, unfortunately, getting new talents out and new girls on tour. And, I just really hope they get to see their players that they're inspired by, and encourages them to practice harder and make it out on tour, and really, either really just enjoy golf or choose to make a career out of it. I think that's what you need. That's what I had as a kid growing up. Watching big events inspires you, and I hope that week for sure is going to bring out so many kids, and hopefully they come home and decide to pick up the game and hopefully become the best player they could be.
The next Dan Van Dam.
Exactly, even better, hopefully.
So you're the captain now. You have about 15, 16 months until the competition starts. You're still playing on tour, of course. So how does the next year look for Anne Van Dam?
Yeah, it's going to be a good mix. Obviously, this year it's mainly going to be focusing on myself playing, and once next year comes around, I have to decide who I'm going to pick as my vice captain, which is going to be very exciting. And then, yeah, hopefully I can make it out to a few of the events and see the girls play. I think that's such a cool part of it, that I get to go and see them play at a Spanish amateur or British amateur, events that I feel like I just played myself a couple years ago. So yeah, that's going to be very cool. Hopefully I can definitely create a bond with these girls before they tee it up and make the team. And for me, it's just going to be a super fun experience to go out and watch some golf when it's not about me. So I'm excited about that.